Hey gang, I'm Casual from Casual GG. Welcome to another video where we are gonna take a look at the completed Arcanist build, and I'm gonna take you through a solo run of Bastion Nymic. It's my first run on Bastion Nymic. I have not done it as a group or myself, so it was an interesting run, and it's definitely something much more difficult than the vents in High Isle. I did die a few times, and then I figured out there was a boss mechanic which is doing a one-shot kill. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna skip the travel and the mini fights so you guys can have a look at the two boss fights while I'm running through the build. So in terms of attributes, what we have is only 10 points to health, because for me as a solo casual player we make mistakes and we need enough health so that we can bounce back and complete a specific fight. So 24k is the right number to have in terms of health, and everything else you guys can put it into Magicka so that you can bump up your damage. What you guys can notice in the attributes are also the recoveries. Bewitched Sugar Skull is the preferred food for this setup, so it's only bumping up health recovery. The Magicka and the Stam recovery is purely something which is coming out of the class passives and also the armor passives. So the Arcanist has good sustainability built into the class itself. So in terms of race, High Elf will be the one preferred for this build, and in terms of Mundas, you guys can go ahead and take Thief. Yes, Thief, even for a solo play, because the Arcanist class comes built in with enough penetration, you can focus on critical chance. So in terms of gear, Deadly Strike is gonna be the bread and butter for all Arcanist build, so we are using it as well. The second set we are using is Pillars of Nirn. For a single bar setup, that's just gonna bump up so much damage. Look at that tooltip, guys, for how much damage it does. And the third shoulder piece will be Slimecraw as usual, so that we can bump up our critical chance. And for the mythic, I'm using Oaken Soul because it just makes my rotation easy, it bumps up my damage, and it also makes me tanky. Overall, great mythic for a solo casual player. In the next chart, we actually have the full gear layout. So here you guys can see where the sets are going, what type of weight each of the pieces should be, what are the traits it needs to carry, and what are the enchantment you guys need to put in. One tip for the enchantment: spend some money, get gold ones because they give you the best return. Next, we're gonna look at the skills. So we'll start with the Herald of the Tome skill line. The ultimate from here, we're gonna take the Languid Eye Morph. It just ramps up more damage as it ticks, so that's a good thing to have. Then we have our Jedi Beam, which is the Pragmatic Faith Cover. I like this morph because it gives you a shield, and the damage shield it gives is just next to the Sorcerer's damage shield. It's a huge shield. The next skill we're gonna take is the Cephaliac Flail. This is a good skill because when you do damage, it's gonna heal you back. This is gonna run from your off stat stamina, so that's good as well. And all we need is 2 hits to build Crux, and then you go back to the Jedi Beam, which I call the Faith Cover Beam, and then beam away. The heart of the Arcanist build is build Crux as fast as possible and go back to the Faith Cover Beam. The next skill is going to be Inspired Scholarship, another skill which is a must-have for any Arcanist build because it just does so many things. When it's ticking, it's going to passively do damage every 3 seconds to your target. And another thing is, once you complete your Faith Cover Beam, it will actually give you 1 Crux free. So what happens is, after you complete your Jedi Beam, this will give you 1 Crux automatically. You just have to do the flail 2 times and you're back to beaming again. So that's how you're gonna shrink time in between the beams, and again your damage just skyrockets. So after that, in terms of passive, just take all the passives. The next skill line we're going to look at is Soldier of Prokrapa. The Rune Guard of Freedom. is the skill that we should get, and in terms of passive, take all of it. So the Rune Guard skill is a little bit interesting because when you apply it while it's active, it's gonna give you damage mitigation, and it's gonna keep a look at your life. If your life goes down less than 50%, it's just gonna heal you up, right? It's a very good skill to have. And mainly what I like is if this skill is in your bar, there are two passives which gives further damage mitigation and also resource generation from this skill line. So it's a good skill to have and great passives to be had as well. So the next skill line will be curative rune forms. What you want to get is the evolving rune man skill, and then take all the passives. So this is how I play it. If I'm questing and adventuring, I'll keep the soldier of Apocrypha Rune Man of Freedom skill on my bar because I like the mitigation and I like the recovery passives. If I'm actually facing a tough boss like what you see on the screen and my companion is at the verge of dying, yeah, that's the time I'll put Evolving Rune Man on the skill bar because it's a stronger heal and it keeps my companion alive. Moving on to the Destruction Staff skill line, Elemental Susceptibility is the skill we need. Fantastic debuff, and it also procs all the status effects as we apply it, and it's free as well when you apply it, no resource required, right? And in terms of passive, just get all of it. Then looking at the light armor passives, get all of it. I'm still leveling up. I haven't reached 50, but once I'm 50, I'll take every single point in all the passives. Then we have medium armor, take all the passives as well. The next important skill is for Undaunted. I haven't leveled it up, so it unlocks, but please do. And once you got it unlocked, get all the passive because the last passive will give you 4% increase in all your resources. Also, a thing to note, once you have that, you might want to redistribute your health a little bit to Magicka because you don't really need more than 24,000 life. If can keep it there, more points into Magicka is just gonna make you do more damage, so that's good. The following skill line we have is the Assault skill line. All you guys need to do is go into any of the Cyrodiil campaigns and do a quick 5 minutes tutorial and you will unlock it to level 3 exactly as I am, and get continuous attack because it's gonna make your horse, which is moving like a snail now on this new character, move 30% faster. Lifesaver, guys, go for it. And the next skill line we have is Alchemy. Once you have enough points, unlock medicinal use. And the last one is for provisioning. Get Gourmand, get Connoisseur. It's just gonna make those expensive foods you buy and use last longer. Talking about skills, this is how your active skill bar should be looking like. And in terms of rotation, it's very easy, guys. Just use skill number 4 when it's an elite or a boss to debuff them. Skill number 3, you always keep it running. So normally skill number 3 and 4 has almost the same time ticking down, so you'll apply it back to back, and then hit skill number 1 to your target once. Automatically you'll notice you'll have 2 crux already available, and then you hit the flail again, you will have 3 crux, and then you beam away. As soon as your beam finishes, use skill number 1 again, and you'll notice that you will have 2 crux. Hit it again, 3 crux ready to go, and use skill number 2, our Jedi beam again, and beam away. And in between, when your ultimate is ready, just pop it. Move on to the CP. This is the green CP that I have. I am CP 1500++. This is something you guys can work towards. In terms of active CP for the green tree, these are the common ones that I normally use. Next we have the blue CP. This is my full CP layout, something you guys can work towards. And in terms of blue CP, this is the active ones you want to get. Biting Aura and Thaumaturge works hand in hand because The Jedi beam that we are using is actually an area of effect, and it's also damage over time, so it's just gonna multiply the damage. And hey, come on, Templars have their Jesus beam, Arcanists should have their Jedi beam, because we're just using that green laser and obliterating everything. Now back to the CPs. Don't forget the importance of this blue tree CP passives. They're gonna make you survive much more in PvE content. And this is the layout of my raid CP3, something for you guys to work towards. For the active ones, I slot in the raid tree. The first three ones are common. I think everyone uses that. The last one, relentlessness, is just amazing, because every time you get stunned by bosses or any mechanics, it's just going to give you major protection, right? That's the time where you can't move or you're trying to CC break. You need that additional protection so you just don't die. Thanks guys for still hanging around. We still have our goal, which is 1000 subscribers, and a free giveaway of the Necrom Deluxe upgrade is still up for grabs. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video, it is much appreciated. That's the build guys. Try it, go yourself solo into Bastion Nymic, and I'm sure you can do it. So next time if you hear someone asking for help in Pelvani for Bastion Nymic, you can just jump into action, take them in and have fun. I leave you guys with the last remaining part of the Bastion Nymic completion. I'm Casual guys, and GG's.